All right, what's up, traders? This is critical that we start learning this right now because the bull market has started. I'm still in my gym clothes. I'm hyped up about this. I haven't even showered yet. I really just wanted to sit down here and tell you guys what is my plan, how will I be trading the bull market here, and what's the proper way to trade a crypto bull market. This knowledge can be applied in any cycle, any market cycle of the crypto phase. Anytime we're in a bull market, if this happens again in a few years, then you can apply this exact same knowledge to the coming market cycles. But this cycle is only going to last probably about another year. The first step is already done, guys. We've already finished part of the first step. So now we're going on to the next one. So we've actually already missed some of this knowledge, but you guys can apply it into the next cycle, into the next time that you see something similar like this happening. You guys can use this for future years. I promise you, this is amazing. This is exactly what I'm doing, and it will guarantee you make money in the future. Let's go. So first, guys, if you guys are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can follow along on crypto knowledge. I also do Forex stuff, just so you guys know. Forex is my main focus, but we do long-term investing in crypto, and crypto is where we make our generational wealth. If you're old here, guys, hit the like button. You only got to hit one button per time. If you're new here, hit the subscribe. If you're old, hit the like. Now, what I'm going to do this video really quick, we're going to structure it here. I'm going to look at the charts in a second so that you guys can kind of see where this knowledge is coming from and why I'm trading this way. But quickly, let's talk about what I'm actually going to be doing by looking at the camera here, just talking ahead, you know, nice and boring stuff, and then we'll jump into the chart. So guys, if you guys haven't noticed, crypto moves in different phases. There are essentially, let's put it into three categories of cryptos, right? There is Bitcoin, and that's the big king, right? And it's in its own category. It has nothing else following its side. We have large market cap altcoins. This is things like Litecoin and Ethereum. And we have small market cap altcoins. That's essentially everything else. And then there's micro market caps, which we're not going to be looking at in this phase here. These are going to be big swingers. You're going to be researching their fundamentals, strictly based off of technical analysis and how things and the money flow through these coins. This is what we're going to be looking at. So the first step in any market cycle is Bitcoin needs to start taking off. So Bitcoin's going to be the big spiker here. And what we're noticing is that if you keep accumulating Bitcoin's going to be the first one to pump up. So that's what we're going to first want to be accumulating in any start of a market cycle, any start of a bull market, right? That's what we're talking about here. Once Bitcoin has kind of pumped, right, and we've seen significant growth out of Bitcoin, then what investors start doing is they say, let's start increasing our risk tolerance, right? We're going to start branching out into other things. We're not going to dive right into the small altcoins yet. We're going to focus on those major altcoins. The big one is Ethereum. The second big one is Litecoin. I really focus on Ethereum. I don't care about Litecoin. It's not my jazz. We're going to then be looking at Ethereum to be pumping, because Ethereum will start pumping second. Once Ethereum starts pumping, again, it dissipates back down the ladder, and the pyramid then hits those small altcoins. These are things like EOS, Tron, Tezos, Link, BAT, whatever. Those guys are only going to be profitable for a very short period of time, guys. They're essentially going to hit massive returns, and then they're going to be done. So you want to get in for this quick movement and then get out very quickly, because essentially how Bitcoin is working is when Bitcoin's pumping really hard, those altcoins are going down because all the money's moving into Bitcoin, right? And when Bitcoin's dumping, those altcoins are also going down because everyone's moving out into cash. So it's a very small window for these altcoins to be profitable. So we don't really want to be sitting in those altcoins for very long. So we want to jump in. I have a small portion of all of the ones that I do want to get invested in. And then once I'm ready, once the altcoins start pumping, that's when I'm going to be taking advantage of those altcoins. So how do we know when to start investing in all of these things? So what I'm doing is I am hitting Bitcoin with accumulation. This is the phase that is already ended, guys. I told you about this at the beginning. It has already finished pumping. No, it's going to keep pumping, but I'm done accumulating it. It's already broken the all-time highs. Now then, what's the next step, guys? This is what's critical here. Listen, Ethereum's going to pump next. If you guys don't believe me, watch this video again in a month. Ethereum is going to hit those all-time highs. So now all my excess money that I'm making on the side here, all going right into Ethereum. Bitcoin's sitting pretty. I'm sitting there with 6 figures Bitcoin already. Boom, easy. Ethereum, that's the next one. So we're accumulating more and more Bitcoin, Ethereum, not taking out of the Bitcoin. And then once Bitcoin starts hitting those all-time highs, I'm done. Accumulation over. I'm going to ride the parabolic move, and then we're going to start moving those Bitcoin profits into altcoins, because those altcoins are only profitable after Ethereum pumps. After we see significant growth in Ethereum, that's when the investors say, hey, I have more risk tolerance now. I'm willing to disperse my money. And that's when the altcoins start pumping. So once we see Ethereum hit kind of those all-time highs, that's when I'm going to start pulling all my profits into altcoins. I can sit in those for maybe 6 months in this market cycle, and then I'm done. We're done once Bitcoin hits my profit targets. What is my profit target? My profit target is going to be over 6 figures. I'm looking at about 120 per Bitcoin. Once I'm around there, I'm going to start taking profits. I'm going to be basing all of my exits on Bitcoin's target, not on Ethereum, not on altcoin. I don't care the price of them. I'm going to be taking profits based off of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin controls the exact entire market of everything, guys. So let's look at the charts so that you guys can kind of understand where this logic is coming from and where my projections are for 2021. All right, guys. So looking at the chart here of Bitcoin, first of all, I just want to show you guys something here really, really interesting. Let's look at the monthly chart here. And the previous times we've broken out from previous all-time highs, we see 10 months before we hit the next all-time high each time. So we're looking at about 10-month breakout. We literally broke out this month. This is why this video is so crucial, because you guys are really going to need to know this. You got 9-10 months left before we hit that all-time high. So in 10 months from now, this is where we're going to be looking to hit. And now the previous growth out of those breakouts, the previous first time was about 3,300%. Next one, we're dividing by 2.2 here, right? So 1,500 here. So again, I use the same logarithmic division here, and we're seeing roughly around here, right? So that gives us a top of about 1.5 or sorry, 150K, right? So this is my highest projection that I've actually gotten from different data. My lowest projection is about 80K. This is just a rough area that I would like to see. So this would be the latest I would be looking at as September 2022, and the lowest. So this would be the worst case scenario based off of everything that I've looked at here, guys. And this is based off of strictly this breakout movement, which is what I think is going to happen, because I have no reason to believe that this 10-month thing is going to take much longer. Other than market cycles extending a little bit, I would say that this could take up to a year, and so we could go down a little bit lower. So I'm looking for about 120K, right? So I would love to hit right around here, end of next year, around 120, right? So that's roughly what I think is realistic. And so we're going to go like that, right? That's what I'm looking for a Bitcoin. Now that Bitcoin, I was accumulating all in this range. I've just been buying for the past couple years, right? Now, if we look at Ethereum, we can see that Ethereum USD has not hit the all-time highs yet here, guys, right? And if we're using similar projections, right? We have an all-time high of about 1,400 here. So we're still accumulating. I've been accumulating slowly, but been focused on Bitcoin here. And now I'm focusing on Ethereum until we kind of hit these all-time highs, because all-time highs still twice away, right? So if we want to presume that this is going to act similarly to the first market cycle of Bitcoin, right? So if we look at it similarly to this guy, we can see that that my projection is right around 8,000 per Ethereum. So if we look at the first market cycle here, it looks somewhat similar to the ETH USD cycle right here, right? It looks somewhat similar, right? We have that major drop and then that massive spike up, right? So we see that I'm using kind of roughly here, I'm ignoring that drop, right? And we see that percentage, right? I'm not going to try to say that is what 150K, something like that. And if we want to use a similar percentage decreasing for each market cycle, let's look at the next market cycle, because that's what we're interested here, right? So we're projecting a similar growth to Bitcoin. So let's look back at Bitcoin here, right? And what did we see here? We saw a 63 and 3 zeros. and then a 54, 55, and 3 zeros, right? So if let's look at that. 6,300, 3 zeros, divided by 55, 3 zeros, right? So it's decreasing by 1 point, let's say 1.15, right? So if we say that it's decreasing by 1.15, then we have 15, 3 zeros, and then we're going to divide it by 1.15, I believe, right? So we're getting about 13,000% here, right? So if we take that from the bottom there, and we say 13,000%, right? Here's about 13,000%. It gives us roughly 10K, right? So the reason I'm not projecting 10K is because I'm giving it a little bit of wiggle room here. And I'm saying, okay, when Bitcoin's growth was happening, it was essentially only Bitcoin, right? Let's chart this BLX here. It was essentially only Bitcoin in the game, right? So people didn't have a place to diversify. So its growth would have been stronger than Ethereum's growth in this cycle. Does that make sense? Because now we have places to diversify. Maybe you have, you might want to invest in EOS or something like that instead, or Link or something like that instead. So I'm saying that this is going to be an even less growth curve than Bitcoin's. So I'm saying that we're going to hit, let's dumb it down by about 20% and get 20% less, because let's say 20% of investors, this is just an arbitrary number, I'm just rounding down roughly. So I would love to see this go up to roughly $8,000 per $8,000 US per Ethereum. And this is giving us about 10x from the current price. So I'm perfectly happy to keep accumulating this until we hit all-time high, right? So that's what we're looking for here. Once the all-time high hits, then I'm going to start dumping all my Bitcoin profits into altcoins. I've already said this, guys, already in this video, and that's the entire trading plan. Now, once the altcoins that I am invested in start pumping, they go nuts. I don't have any gauge on what nuts means. It's just whenever something looks like it's gone completely parabolic and ridiculous, I'm going to start taking profits. I don't have a take profit plan yet, sorry guys, but just slowly take profits as things go nuts. And then I'm going to swap them over to other altcoins that haven't gone nuts yet. And I'm just going to keep riding the waves back and forth, right? Until we hit some massive, massive returns. And I am hopefully expecting, I really want to hit a few thousand X returns on those altcoins. But that is all for today, guys. I hope that has been informative, and I hope you guys can pass this on to the next market cycle. Things can always change in the market. This is what I'm looking at currently, and those are my projections, and that's the breakdown why I'm saying 8,000 Ethereum, and I'm saying, 125K Bitcoin, something like that, roughly. And what we're looking at here is 2021 fall. That's when we're going to hit our peak. That's when I'm going to hit these numbers, and that is when we're going to be what is the word I'm trying to use here? Cashing out. That's the word. Cashing out and traveling around the world, living the dream here, guys. Hunter FX. I'll see you guys next time. RSR, please, baby. RSR. Let's do it.
Listen.